friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to do my July wrap-up. Now, you may or may not know if you follow me on Instagram, but I did take a pretty small break from YouTube and Instagram in the month of July, and I kind of just really focused on myself, doing some activities outside of YouTube and reading that I kind of missed doing. So I read a little bit less than I usually do, but I ended up tackling 3 through 7 of the Throne of Glass series. This is a YA fantasy series that I did an entire reading vlog on. If you're interested in my thoughts, I will leave that down below. But I gave the majority, I would say my overall rating for the series is like a 3, and if I did half stars, it would be like a 3.5. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything that I will return to time and time again. So first up, I read Gym Bunny and Dom Fitness for the Brianna Hale Backlist Read Along Live. We ended up doing both books in the Dom Fitness series because they are novellas. They're each about 70 pages. The first one I gave 3 stars, and this is about a journalist who is doing a spread on the new gym that just opened, that the hero opened, and it is a place where doms are the personal trainers and subs come to work out, and they can kind of work with a dom that fits their like lifestyle, I guess, or what they want, and it's not sexual at all. It's just used as like a motivator. And then Gym Bunny is about a woman who had a previously bad experience with someone who claimed that they were a dom that treated them very badly, and so she has a very bad impression of dom-sub relationships, and she's interested in the hero. She ends up getting roped into going to the gym, and they spark up a relationship. I liked Dom Fitness okay. I liked their bratty dom relationship, but I definitely think Gym Bunny is my favorite. I think I related to the heroine more, and their relationship to me was so cute. The hero in particular in Gym Bunny is very carefree, bubbly, and that's not something that I'm used to seeing from Brianna Hale, and I really enjoyed it. So then we have The Marvelers, which is a middle grade. It's about a girl who is a conjurer, and conjurers are essentially people that work in the underworld. They work with the dead, and she gets invited to the school where the Marvelers go, and she is the first conjurer to ever be invited. And she gets there, and there is some weird stuff going on. And I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. The reason I couldn't give it a full 5 stars was because I think there was so much attempt to build the world with not enough focus on the plot and moving the story forward, and I also felt like the majority of the plot was focused around the main character's best friend instead of her. But I'm very excited to continue the series. I love this author's writing. I then read The Witchlings, which is another middle grade series. This is a lot younger than The Marvelers, I feel like. I would say this is like 12-ish. At least that's how old they are in the book, and it's about 3 girls who, in the beginning of the book, they are going to be assigned to a certain coven, and they end up getting assigned to a coven together, but they decide that they don't want this, so they have to hunt down this mystical beast together to be reassigned to another coven. Very good, like it's a good middle grade. I didn't really feel like it has as much substance as The Marvelers did, and I thought it was just cute. To the audiobook for The Accumulation of Everything, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The heroine comes to this small town in a on the mountains to focus on healing herself after losing her husband, and she meets the hero, who is the park ranger of the touristy mountain that is, you know, this town is known for, and he is very much grumpy. I wouldn't say she's particularly sunshiny. She's definitely bubbly, but she's not like eternally optimistic. But I thought that the relationship was surprisingly enjoyable for an insular story. I find that with Christina C. Jones, she can take like things that I would consider very traditionally published, like contemporary elements, and make them enjoyable for someone who doesn't generally like those. She has stories that are like boy meets girl, they fall in love, or like they fight, they fall in love, like she takes that formula and does it very, very well. I think that their relationship was so tension filled that I was just ready for them to kiss, and I was going to do anything for them to kiss because their love-hate situation was just delightful. I then listened to the audiobook for Set, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is the story of 2 people who met at their high school reunion. The hero lives in Vegas, the heroine lives somewhere else, and they meet up every couple of months for a sexcation, and then she ends up getting invited to his house. She goes to his house and they explore a relationship. They explore their romantic feelings, not just their sexual feelings for each other. I enjoyed this. I wish that I had just seen their life after the decision to move in together. I think I was lacking a little bit of the relationship development that I wanted, but it was hot. I read The Truth About Heartbreak. This is a taboo romance between a girl and her brother's best friend. It starts when she is 14, or it starts when she's 12 and she gets 12 or 14, she gets adopted by her adopted family. He is like an honorary member. He's just best friends with the son. Her brother and him are very like protective of her, and those protective feelings on his end eventually lead to them having a one-night stand when they were adults. He is in a 10-year relationship, and it's kind of their angst and them trying to be together, or them trying not to be together rather. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. I will definitely be reading more from this author. I just think it was a little bit repetitive, and the angst was a little bit contrived. I read Filthy Little Pretties, which is the first book in the Hillcrest Prep series. This is like a college Gossip Girl-esque book, and in the first half I was really, really, really enjoying this. It's a love triangle between a girl and 2 guys. The 2 guys are best friends. When she was like 10 or 11, they ended up moving. Her parents separated. She ends up moving away, and then she is now in high school, last year of high school. She is moving back to the private school that they attend, and it starts up their very flirtatious, very fun, very bantery relationship. It is a love triangle. However, it's very obvious who she's going to end up with. It's dual POV, so one of the legs of the triangle doesn't even get a point of view. I was really enjoying it until about the 50% mark, and then the tone completely changed, and it got like annoyingly angsty, which is not something that I ever thought I would say, but I did enjoy it. I do really, really enjoy this author's writing. She writes some hella good steamy scenes, but other than that, it just was kind of went in a weird way that I didn't really enjoy. And there was like a second conflict after they got together that just kind of annoyed me. I then read Dial A for Aunties, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This is a delightful, cozy mystery about a girl who goes on a blind date set up by her aunties and her mom, and she ends up killing the guy. And she now has to enlist the help of her mother and her aunties to hide the body while they are doing this wedding. And it's so funny, it's so delightful, it's over the top and just hilarious. If you read Finley Donovan is Killing It, you will love, love, love this. I do think that it dragged a little bit towards like the middle bit, towards the last third, but it was just so much fun. It was so hilarious to watch these old women just getting into all of these hijinks together, and the relationship in this was so cute. And then the last thing that I completed for the month, and then we'll talk about the things that I'm currently reading that I probably will finish by the end of the month, but I haven't finished them yet as of me filming this. I read The Sanitarium, which was a massive, massive letdown. This is I would say a closed door mystery, not really a thriller. It's about a woman who goes to a isolated hotel to celebrate her brother's engagement. It's like up in the Swiss Alps, and they end up getting snowed in and people start dying. I thought I enjoyed this. up until the end reveal. So this is very consumable. I love closed door mysteries. I love like gothic feeling stories. This is set in an old sanitarium that's very spooky. They've kind of renovated it, but the killer uses like old sanitarium equipment and stuff to like kill people, and they leave clues and all that stuff, and it was fun. But the ending reveal made me so angry. If you watched any of my previous videos in which I discuss thrillers, you will know there are certain things that I hate, and it's pretty common that people hate, used as plot devices or as reasons behind people doing things, behind people being violent, and I hated the reason that this person was the killer. And I also didn't like the way that the story wrapped up, like how they found out who the killer was, all of that. It just wasn't satisfying to me. They literally, I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very, very big plot convenience that I didn't appreciate. All right, and then the two things that I am currently reading and might end up finishing in by the time that this month ends. I am currently reading Sweet Dandelion. This is a student-teacher romance, and I'm also reading Curious Beginning. This is the first book in the Veronica Speedwell. This is a cozy mystery, I think, or maybe just a mystery about a girl in Victorian times who goes and stays with a historian. I believe they have a delightful slow burn romance, and it's a mystery. So those are all of the things that I read in the month of July. I would love to hear what you read down below, or your thoughts on anything that I read. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have nothing else to say, leave a castle emoji down in the comments, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching.